Tasha is up next, and Puyallup, I hope I'm saying that right, Washington. Tasha, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Yeah, you did pretty good there.
Hey, I want to do really well. Tell me the right way to say that.
Puyallup.
Puyallup. Did I say that better?
Yeah, you say the yal with a w.
Okay.
So Puyallup.
Okay, very good. All right. This is good. Thank you for the teaching, Tasha. How can I help?
Yeah, I'm just curious if I should quit my job. I took your quiz online, and I pretty much summed up that I am in the right job, or I'm sorry, in the right
role,
working force, right role. No, not in the right role, but in the right boss, like education. I'm in education.
What'd your report say? What did the report say when you took the Should I Quit My Job quiz?
That I am in the wrong role in the right job.
Okay, wrong role, right place.
Yes. Correct.
Okay, now you and I are on the same page. I got it. Okay, wrong role, right place. And that means you're in the education industry. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I came from higher ed, and now I'm in a public. And I was in higher education for 13 years in a very good role, but it didn't move me forward and didn't pay well, so I got a better job. They pay me wonderful here. I still like the culture. It's very similar.
Yep.
But my environment in my actual office is not very good. I work with a very toxic coworker. And a lot of it, too, is, with COVID and changes. I got hired a year ago. And then 6 months later, we got moved to a completely new department, new supervisor. Pretty much everything that I had learned up until that point got completely removed. And now I am, my boss is kind of moving me into my strengths, which I appreciate. But on the other side, the emotional part of me is like, well, they're taking away what I know. So do they not think I'm competent enough? And I'm in tech.
Okay.
Just to clarify.
Okay. So they've moved you. You've just gotten a new, a role where you're in tech in the education space, correct? At a school?
I've always been in tech with education, correct.
Okay.
So I just moved departments.
All right. So you just moved departments, and in this new move, you've got a coworker who's really toxic?
Yes.
Okay. So it doesn't matter. I'm not trying to correct you, but what I'm hearing is you're in the right role. You're doing what you love. That's the right role, but you're in the wrong place in that you're in an environment where you've got an emotional toll because this coworker is so toxic. So this is a toxic coworker situation. That's what's causing you to not want to go into work, correct? Mostly,
yes. Well, my supervisor is more I'm getting used to, but that's only because he's been around for 8 months. So
okay, but my point is that that's what we're trying to figure out today. Should you stay where you are or leave because of a toxic coworker? Now, my first gut reaction is, why is the toxic coworker being allowed to be toxic? What's your answer to that? Have you made your supervisor aware that, hey, we got a real problem here?
Yes, he is aware. And a lot of it is new office dynamics. And she was pretty much my trainer before. And she's taking my skill sets and responsibilities being taken away from me as lack of competence, which is not true at all.
Who's taking that?
My boss is reorganizing.
The toxic
coworker.
Right. But I mean, she's not your leader, correct?
Yes, correct.
Who cares what she thinks?
That's what my husband said.
Okay.
I'm also Enneagram 2, and that is my core thing is I want everyone to be friends with me, and I want everyone to like me all the time.
Okay, great. So since you're so this is fun. So are you familiar with Ian Morgan Crone?
Yes, absolutely. I actually listened to your podcast with him most recently.
He was at my house last night. We had cigars, by the way, last night. And we spent about 3 hours on my back patio. And I just want you to know I'm going to channel Ian right now, okay? Ian's a friend. And Ian would say, I appreciate that's the 2 in you, but what's the healthy 2 response? What's the healthy 2 do with all of that desire for approval? You tell me.
More, I just want to be recognized for the work that I do,
right?
Which is the core foundation, right? And a lot of it is I went from 13 years knowing everyone and knowing everything,
right,
to knowing nothing and knowing no one.
Right. Okay. And so there's all that's making you feel honestly just wobbly. You know what I mean? It's like you ever seen video of a newborn horse? You know, they come out of the and they're just all wobbly in the field, and they're just trying to, whoa, what are these things I'm standing on? And I think there's a lot of that which makes you feel unstable, and there's emotional realities to that. Then you've got this toxic coworker who's judging you. If I'm hearing this right, she's Judgy McJudgy, if we were going to give her a name. Am I right? Or him?
Yeah, and she's an Enneagram 6.
Oh, okay, great. So here's the deal. You don't answer to her. You don't report to her, correct?
Correct.
So what would you tell your kid if they were dealing with a Judgy McJudgy in class?
To ignore them.
Oh, fantastic advice. Because your leader, A, knows about it, and your leader needs to deal with it if she keeps saying negative things to you. It's basically a form of gossip, but she's gossiping at you, not behind your back. Right. And so you need to go to the leader and say, look, I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to channel it, but I want you to be aware it's not stopping if it doesn't stop. The other thing to do with the Judgy McJudgies of this world, this is personal to me. So here's the asterisk, folks, to the advice here for Tasha and for the rest of you. I eat confrontation for breakfast. It doesn't even faze me. I don't mind it. I have no problem with confrontation. So some of you who can't stand confrontation, this is going to be hard. Hello, Tasha, you twos out there, okay? But listen, one of the ways to stop the Judgy McJudgies is to confront them. They don't like it. They don't like being told, hey, listen, this is coming across this way. I don't know if you mean it this way or not, but here's how I'm receiving it. I don't like it, and I want us to be able to get along. But if you're going to continue to be this way, then I'm going to literally have to just shut this down. And I don't want that.
And I've done that more recently.
And how'd she respond?
The last couple of weeks.
How'd she respond?
She was still rude about it. And a lot of it is she's only been in the workforce for like maybe 4 years, and I've had 13 years of experience. And so a lot of it is just tact. She's not, customers will come and talk to me, and then she gets irritated. And I'm like, well, you're not nice.
Well, here's the deal. So let me give you some more insight, which you already know. This has nothing to do with her lack of experience. It has everything to do with she's not healthy.
Mm-hmm.
She's not healthy. She's angry and she's rude all the time. There's a reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
Have some real grace for her. I don't know what's going on in her personal life. I don't know what's going on with her self-esteem, but I can tell you it's one of those things. Either crap's really bad for her in her life, or she's been hurt to the point that she's hurting other people. Okay? So it does not make how she's treating you okay, but if you're going to have the strength, because it's not up to you to solve it, it's up to your leader. But now that you've challenged her and she's still been rude, now I just turn the faucet off. Only talk to her when you have to. Kill her with kindness. Grace all over her. Just put grace all over her. When you have to deal with her, paint her with a paintbrush of grace. Just go, okay, all right, I got to do this. She's hurting. She's got some stuff going on. I'm just going to try to be love. And it's not easy, but that's what you've got to do. But I don't think you should leave, no. Why should you penalize yourself because she's a problem? Don't let other people who are problems penalize you. No, it's their job to get better. It's their job to deal with you, not the other way around. Never run away from a bully, and never run away from a person who is bringing so much negative your way. Don't allow them to poison you. I think positivity is more powerful than negativity. In that when you continue to shine the light of positivity on somebody who's negative, they're going to run away. Just like those little roaches do, by the way, when you walk into a room, you turn the light on in an old abandoned building. You know what I'm talking about, Joe. You go in an old abandoned barn in Tennessee today with a big old giant light at about 8 o'clock at night. There's going to be all manner of critters running to the corners. Why? They don't like the light. So you know what I do? You're negative? Awesome. I'm going to be so positive around you that you want to throw up. Here's what I love to do to negative people. This is a little extra. I didn't plan on going on to this, but we're going to do this. We got a lot to get to, and I'm just going to go. It's my show. My name's on the board, so here we go. Here's what's fun to do with negative people in the office. Okay? When leadership won't do anything, and they won't accept their role, and and they come around and they just start saying something negative, just be like, oh man, isn't that awesome? I got to tell you, just flip the whole situation on them. Go, I actually think it's really amazing. My experience is completely different. And throw on it. I don't know if you noticed, I'm throwing on some extra enthusiasm. They hate it. Negative people hate enthusiasm. Drives them crazy. So when you're saying something positive to their negative, juice the enthusiasm, and they're going to be like, and just want to walk away. They just want to get away. So be a light of positivity. And I don't even care if you just pour it on. Joe, I don't even mind if you go all Magoo on them. Just over the top. And they're going to be like, what is right? They'll leave you alone. Trust me. And by the way, you go, well, I don't want them to say anything negative about me. They already are. So let's just go ahead, and we don't care what they think. We just don't want them around us because they drag us down.